Alright guys, so I want to share our UCC experience with you guys. I just posted the video on like UCC in general, the show and shine. I got some of the events and it was a great time. I didn't get as much as I wanted to because the GoPro could not see very far, because I mean, most of you guys that got a GoPro know that it's an action camera. You can see stuff up close. Like right here, it might not look like I'm very close to you guys, and it might not sound like it, but I'm actually probably only a foot away from the camera right now. So whenever you're 100 yards away, looks like a little speck. So next year whenever I go back, hopefully I'll have a different camera by then and we'll get some really good footage and some good shots. But anyway, our trip to UCC. Now, everything else went smoothly but our trip up there. A lot of you guys saw, it was, I think we might have put it on we sent it to a few buddies. It got put on Trucker Ice, which was pretty funny. I don't know, it was maybe on one of our stories. But the first one was in an accident. Me and Nate, my truck and Nate's truck got in an accident actually. I was driving Cole's truck because he was taking a nap. He had been driving a lot. He drove from Texas up here. So I was driving Cole's first gen, and here's basically how it went down. I'm going to throw some videos up on the screen once I get to the point of what happened in the wreck and everything, so you guys can get an idea of how or what it looked like basically, so it's just not me sitting here talking. Alright, so we made it about 4 hours. We're coming up on, or we just passed St. James, Missouri. We're coming down a decent sized hill, nothing crazy. It wasn't real big. I just know it was a little bit of a hill. It was flat out pouring. Nate's truck, hauling my truck on the 30-foot gooseneck, just trucking right along in the left lane. We were passing some people, going about 70, 75, I would say, max. And we started coming down this hill, and there is 2 semis in the right lane, and there's a little car in there somewhere, and the front semi basically gets on the brakes real hard. The semi behind it jumps on the brakes as well. Kind of a domino effect there, as you can only imagine. But the second semi gets on his brakes, jumps into our lane. So at that point, this all happens like split second. This happens fast. Now whenever we came up on the semi, we weren't, like, we saw that they hit the brakes, so Nate had started slowing down because he didn't want to chance, like, he was obviously being precautious and everything. So he'd already started slowing down, and the semi really locks up the brakes and everything and tries to come to a stop because the traffic ended up stopping up ahead of them. And basically it was either, and there's this little white car, it wanted in the other lane and it didn't know where to go either, and it was right up next to Nate. And basically it was either take the back of the semi or it was get in the median. And Nate didn't want to endanger the lives of whoever was in his truck. The little white car to his right, didn't want to completely screw and total his truck, because that's 15,000, probably a gross of 15,000 pounds trying to come to a stop. So he's in the left lane. He decides to take the median, and that's what I would have done. I think that's what anybody would have done in the certain situation. The trailer brakes on that trailer are amazing. The brakes on his truck are great. It just literally could not stop. Doesn't matter if I was driving, Cole was driving, Nate was driving. If Nate's truck was pulling the trailer, if my truck was pulling the trailer, if Cole's truck was pulling the trailer, it would have been the same exact situation. So before we even start, I don't want to hear it about the tires. Some people said that, well, different tires on there would have stopped, and that's 100% bull crap, and you guys know it. So he took the median, and I will throw up videos here. He took the median, and it came in at a decent, like, it wasn't a huge incline, it was somewhat flat. This median did happen to have posts and cables in it. It took about 40 yards for it to finally come to a stop. There was standing water in the median because, like I said, it's absolutely pouring. It doesn't actually jump it. It goes up and over the posts and cables, so that's under the truck. The trailer did not cross it, and the under the side of the truck was perfectly fine. The truck actually only had some curb rash on the two wheels on that one side, and 2 scratches on the paint, and that is it. No front end damage, no nothing. We basically think the wheels pushed the posts out, because some of the posts were laying flat on the ground that were holding up the cables. We think the wheels pushed them out because they were set so far outside the truck and just flattened them on the ground so it didn't tear up the underside of his truck or anything. So you take a look at these videos that I've thrown up on the screen, and you'll see it was quite the situation. I came to a stop, got off on the side of the road, pretty much in disbelief. The first gen did not move a single inch on the trailer. I put quite the strap job on that. Luckily, there's quite a few of us here whenever we did it. My buddy Sawyer, which it was his trailer, he helped along with it also. They were axle straps. One did break. I don't know, it was hooked differently than the others, and that ended up being the weak point. And even Sawyer stated that whenever we were strapping it down, it was missing something, so we couldn't strap it how we wanted it, but it was still really tight. But we're just watching it was pretty scary because, I mean, my truck was on the trailer, my little brother was in the truck, but luckily nobody was hurt. It could have been a lot worse. The first gen could have came off the trailer, but like I said, we know how to strap stuff down. It's not our first rodeo, and we got really lucky, to be honest. So that's basically what happened. As soon as it happened, there was already like fire truck on the scene. He came up, we talked to him. Policeman finally came up. He didn't, no offense to the guy, he was nice and all, but he did not do his job worth of crap. Then a tow truck came and basically cut the cables, pulled Nate on the other side of the cables with a winch, and then pulled the truck up out of the ditch. And we got on our way. Basically, there wasn't a whole lot to it, but it was wet, rainy. I mean, it was pretty interesting. The trailer was loaded good. We did, in the pictures that were posted, it looked like it was all sorts of front heavy, and it was just bad angle on the pictures. But whenever we left, the truck towed great. The whole way back, it towed great. Really no complaints. That just happened, and it set us back a little bit. And yeah, I mean, that's just how it went. That's the story everybody's been asking me. And luckily the first gen didn't get all beat up. Nothing happened to it, which I'm really thankful for that. So after that whole debacle happened, we hopped back on the road, go about a mile up the road to the car wash, power wash Nate's truck off because there's mud everywhere, and we want to inspect the whole underside. We want to look at everything, check tie rods, wheel bearings, you name it, because we still got 5.5 more hours to go. So we do that, we get going, boom, Cole's battery starts overcharging, and we don't know what to do. We pull into an O'Reilly's. We're there for probably 4 hours trying to figure it out. We put a new alternator on it, we put a new voltage regulator on it, and it just would not shut off the alternator whenever it needed to. So basically it just kept overcharging the battery. It smelled like straight sulfur. It was awful. And then Cole just decides to run a manual switch to it to turn the alternator off whenever it was getting to where it needed to be, and then flip it back on whenever the voltage got low. And that got us by for what we needed to do. After that, we left from there, finally got out of Missouri, and kept on trucking to Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Ultimate Callout Challenge was. Like I said, the drive back went great. Nate's truck pulls very well. It never comes out of lockup whenever you're pulling the trailer. It's insane. The S464 is a great complement to that transmission. It spools great with the trailer. It pulls great. The only thing that we probably could have asked for a little bit more of was some rear bags, because it would have helped, just basically helper bags. So yeah, that would have been the only other thing I would have wanted, or that we would want to tow with. I don't think Nate's going to want to do a whole lot more towing. It was kind of scary for all of us, and kind of makes you hesitate now that whenever you got a trailer on. He did a great job. I wouldn't have done anything different. There's nothing you really could have done. I mean, it happened so fast that it made a split-second decision, and in my personal opinion, it was the right decision. It came out, nothing was damage, nothing, nobody was hurt. We didn't hurt anybody else, or, I mean, that's the best case scenario. Basically, whenever it happened, I expected to go to the other side of his truck and find that there was no paint on the other side of the truck. I was just really worried about that. But that was our trip to UCC. That's how the first gen got in an accident. Luckily, we came out on top and didn't roll it off the trailer or anything. These are all the videos, hopefully, that I can find. They were all on my phone. I didn't have the GoPro with me right then. I didn't have it out, so they're all videos off my phone, and that's how it went. Like I said, I can't say this enough. It could have been worse. It 100% could have been worse. So yeah, that's the story. Everybody's asked me what the heck happened, asked me if the tire blew out or if it was a tire problem, because everybody assumes with 33s and 24s hauling a gooseneck in that truck that the tire debeated or had a blowout, and the tires did great. Nothing happened to the tires. That's the only reason I think it was posted on Truck Races, because they saw the picture and probably just assumed that the tire blew out or something, and that just wasn't the case. If that would have been the case, yeah, I would have got quite the kick out of it. I didn't think it was like really funny or anything, but we don't really care. We didn't. Once it was on there, we knew we weren't coming off, and a lot of people understood the story, and we don't really take that to heart any. I mean, it's just trying to get a good meme out there, and that's all that matters. But yeah, that's all I've really got for the story. I mean, that was it, and then that's why it took us so long after that. Once we got Cole's truck straightened out with that switch, that helped, and then we worked on it a different morning, and he found out that there's a ground somewhere on the truck that it wasn't grounding correctly, and then it was working properly after that. So that first gen voodoo magic wiring that they did back in the day really got the best of us on the way up. But yeah, the truck's back, we're all safe, and we are definitely going again, and next time we're going to drive the first gen. The goal is to drive that thing everywhere, and Cole drives his everywhere, and it makes me jealous, because I would honestly love to take mine to as many states as I could. I understand it's old, but it's got a lot of life left in it, and hopefully we'll go through enough stuff that it'll make me feel better and more comfortable about driving it places. So luckily we got the front end and rear, like both axles are pretty well gone through, and the only thing on the front end that hasn't been touched is the kingpins and the axle shaft U-joints, and I need to get to that very badly. But that's all we got. I hope now that it makes sense to some of you guys, and you got to see some of the videos of the aftermath. And you can tell the first gen looks the same. Nathan's truck basically looks the same. We're going to get to a detail. Actually, it's my old man's truck. They are going to go to Louisville, and they just want the inside cleaned out a little bit before they go up. Can't go wrong with clean interior, so we're going to jump on that. Probably take me 30-45 minutes. It's brand new F-150. It's very clean. It's not even dirty right now, so we're going to get on that and then go back to the house and probably start editing another video. I need to get some up to you guys. I'm leaving for Pennsylvania May 19th, so I will be coming up to the Northeast if anybody wants to meet up, or just I'll be there all summer. So if you want to meet up sometime during the summer, if you got an event that you want me to come to or think I should go to because it's a good time, please feel free, DM me on Instagram, message me on Messenger for Facebook, whatever you see fit. Drop something in the comments if there's something up there that you think I should attend, because I'll be somewhat bored and I'll be ready to see some diesel action, because after UCC I'm definitely ready for it. So with that being said, we will see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. I think we're coming up on a weekend here, so until next time, I don't really got anything for you right now. Thank goodness the first gen's safe, and you guys have a good weekend, and that's gonna do it. I believe so. So until next time, we'll see you guys.